Shalom, shalom, Israel, brother Amos with the Watchman for Israel. First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, to the brothers pushing this truth in strong sincerity, laboring on the highways and byways, making their body a living sacrifice, doing all they can for the elect and the hopeful elect in the nation of Israel. I want to give y'all a strong shalom. To the sisters holding it down in the household, reverencing their husbands, taking care of the children, and being a teacher of good things. To the younger women, I want to give y'all a strong shalom as well. To the young men and women coming out of the world, forsaking the ways of this world and coming back to serving our God, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I want to compel y'all to furthermore study, pray, and seek the face of the Lord in these last days, where we only got but a short time to find out what the Lord commands and requires of us as Israelites. So do all you can in your due diligence, be at the church of Berea, and keep searching and seeking how to please the Lord. Right, so this lesson is gonna call Be Humble, right? The Sirach edition. So I'm not sure if brothers and sisters remember from the last Cold Cut channel, I did a video just strictly Proverbs. Right, so this is the Sirach edition of being humble. Right, we're going to start off with Sirach chapter 1 and 26. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments. Salaki. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction, and the faith and meekness are his delight. And faith and meekness are his delight. Right, so the Lord delights in meekness. Right, he doesn't dwell or exalt the proud. Right, the Lord deals with the lowly, the humble, and the meek. Right, that's his delight. The Lord loves to see a humble man. Right, we have nothing to be proud about. We're sitting in captivity, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Right, in subjection to the so-called white man, the sword of the Lord. Right, we have nothing to be proud about. Everything that we should be doing should be humble. Right, let's go to Sirach chapter 3 and verse 18. Right. We'll start at verse 17. It reads, my son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. Right? So whatever you're doing, however you moving in this world, do it in meekness. Right? Not proud, not letting the left hand know what the right hand's doing, not boasting about it on social media. Right, texting brothers, yo, I'm about to do this, big ups to me. Right, everything should be done in meekness and humility. Right, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. Right, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So the greater you become, right, whether it be in the truth, whether it be in sports, whether it be in your job, right, no matter what it is, that's the more you have to humble yourself. The more you got to become at a lower state and keep your high-mindedness under subjection, right? Because it's easy to be high-minded when something happens, right? Many are in high place and of renown, but the mysteries are revealed unto the meek, right? The meek are the low ones, the ones who are in a lower state. They are the ones who are getting understanding, right? The disciples and the apostles wasn't filthy rich, right? Doing miracles for large donations, right? They were doing things in meekness and lowliness, right? For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly, right? So you gotta be lowly if you want to honor the Lord, right? The Lord wants to be exalted by the lowly, right? You don't got LeBron James making videos about the Lord, right? P. Diddy, right? Too Shorts, who else? Rick Ross. They not doing videos about how to serve the Lord, right? They giving you videos about wickedness, how to continue in sin, how to continue in lust. But the ones who are lowly, the ones who are trying to make it out of this captivity, they're going to be the ones exalting the Lord, right? Teaching the meek, teaching the humble, teaching those who want to serve the Lord how to serve the Lord. Right, let's go to Sirach chapter 7 and verse 15. Right? Sirach 7 and 15. Hate not laborer's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High have ordained. Right? Doing these things is humbling. Right? Tilling the garden is humbling. Right? Tilling the ground to bring forth fruit, that's humbling. Right? You get blisters, your back hurt. Right? You sweating in the sun. Right? You thirsty all the time, that's humbling. Doing husbandry and laborer's work. right? That'll put you in a state of being appreciative, right? Once you see that bud bring forth fruit, right, you're gonna feel very appreciative because you worked hard and you were meek. You were praying that this seed will bear fruit, right? Verse 16: Number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember the wrath will not tarry long, right? So don't be around sinners. Sinners are proud people, right? Right? Sinners are proud. Those who don't repent, those who don't foresee the evil that's coming because of their sins, those are very proud and Dalton people, right? Humble thy soul greatly, for the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worms, right? So you got to humble yourself greatly because you know the end of this world. You know the end of Esau's queendom, right? You know how this is going to fall, right? Fire, destruction, all hell is going to be breaking loose. So you got to humble yourself greatly, right? And it's okay to joke around with brothers, like if you in competition or something, like, brother, you know you can't stop me, but you got to remain humble in all things, right? You can sport about that and laugh about that, but remain humble, right? Don't exalt yourself in these last days, right? Let the Lord exalt you in due season, right? Keep yourself at a lower state, right? Meaning your mind at a lower state, that you're not high-minded of yourself. Right, let's go to Sirach chapter 18. 18 and 20. Yeah, 18 and 20. It says, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. Right, so before judgment, you got to examine yourself. Before all hell break loose, you should be examining yourself daily. Well, where did I go off yesterday? How can I not go off today? What can I do to further push myself away from catching that strange calamity that I caught before? Right? Humble thyself before thou be sick, and in the time of sins show repentance. Right? So you got to humble yourself in the time of sickness. You don't want to be a proud sick man on his deathbed talking about, I don't need that medicine, I can handle it myself. Right? Because, you know, he that sins is in the hand of the physician, you know, paraphrasing it. Right, so humble yourself before you get sick, right? And 9 times out of 10, when you get sick, you was probably going off. That's a spirit that got you, right? And that's just being honest, right? It was, for example, my mom, she bought me, this was like 7 years ago, right? Just when I was coming to the truth, she bought me a Christmas gift. She bought me a bed set. And I was like, nah, I'm not taking no Christmas gift. She's like, please just take this. I already bought it. You know, it's not cheap. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll take it. Right, the next night, I caught the flu. Right, I lost like 20 pounds. Right, and I was being proud because I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it. I don't want to hear her mouth, whatever. Right, it is nice being proud, not humbling myself when I caught the flu. Right, so before your sickness, right, humble yourself. Right, humble yourself because strange calamities can fall upon you without you even knowing. Right, let's go to Sirach chapter 13. And we're going to start at verse 16 or 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and man will cleave to his like. Right? So what does that mean? The humble is going to be with the humble, right? The proud is going to be with the proud. Right? Don't desire to be around a bunch of sinners. Desire to be around the men who are lowly, who want to exhort the Lord. Right, who want to teach their people, right? Who delight in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, right? That's who you want to be around. You should hold on, let me get it right. Consort according to your kind, right? You should want to be around the people who make your spirit feel good, right? You don't want to be around a proud person. Yeah, nigga, I'm shining. Check out my wrist, right? It was a brother in the truth, right? We saying the truth. Right, he made a music video talking about ice, right, with an Edomite all around him, like he balling. Man, you still in captivity. That's a proud, poor man. Right, you don't want to be around people like that. You want to be around people who understand the conditioning that they're in, understand that they're in a lower state, understand that they're trying to seek the face of the Lord to receive forgiveness of their sins, to ultimately make it out of this captivity in Babylon the Great. Right, let's go to Sirach. Chapter 10 and verse 12. Right? The beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh and his heart is turned away from his maker. Right? That's the beginning of being a proud man. Right? Is when you turn away from the Lord. Right? You seek after many inventions, seek after your own understanding, seek after things that have nothing to do with the Lord, like witchcraft, wizardry, right? Seeking after women, things that'll destroy your heart. Right? For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that had this shall pour out abominations. Right? Once you become proud, you don't fear the judgment, you become reprobate. Right? That's reprobate means to be void of judgment. Right? So if I know that I can get hit by a car, but I don't care, and I'm going to go dance in the street, that's being reprobate. Right? You know that eating pork, it'll cause you to get put to death, but you don't care, you're going to do it, that's reprobate. Right? And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Right? So strange things happen to people who depart from their maker. Right? The Lord has cast down thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their set up the meek in their stead. Right? So all these perfect example of that, Nebuchadnezzar. Right? Look, he said, look at all these things that I have built. Right? The Lord turned him into a beast of the field, had hair growing out his back. Right? 2 years, he was, or was it 7 years? It was 7 years, I think. He was out running with the beast, right? Eating grass out the field, right? Talking to deers, talking to pigs, snorting, right? The Lord cast him down. The Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nation and planted the lowly in their place, right? And that's happening in the midst of Babylon. That's happening in the midst of all the wicked kingdoms in the world. The Lord is starting to plant the lowly. He's getting the kingdom ready and established for those who are sincere, those who seek the word, those who want to be humble in the sight of the Lord. Right? Look at David. David was humble. He was the king, but he was among the people, drinking flagons of wine, giving out bread, right? Chilling in the streets with his people. That's humbling. Right? Let's go to Sirach chapter 11 and verse 4. Right? 11 and verse 4. And it reads, Boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor, for the works of the Lord are wonderful, his works among men are hidden. Right? So don't boast yourself of raiment. Don't boast yourself of the clothing you have, because all this is materialistic. All this stuff will be destroyed. Right? All this stuff means naught. Right? And don't boast yourself of your own works, because the works of the Lord is what's doing these things. Right? Man wants to exalt himself. Yeah, I did this and that. Oh, it was the Lord that did that. You just happen to be the vessel that he did it with. Right? I'm gonna get 2 more precepts and I'm gonna close this out. Right? This is Sirach chapter 32 and verse 14. Whoso feareth the Lord will receive his discipline, and they that seek him early shall find favor. Right? So if you fear the Lord, you're gonna receive his discipline, meaning you're gonna take the things that are gonna happen and take the chastisement and move on from it and learn that lesson. He that seeketh the law shall be filled therewith, but the hypocrite will be offended thereat. Right? So that's self-explanatory. The hypocrite is going to be offended at the things that the Lord has spoken. They that fear the Lord shall find judgment and shall kindle justice as a light. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. Right? So a sinful man is not going to take the correction. He's going to continue to do what he want to do. He's going to feel himself, be big-headed. Right? And he's going to be destroyed. He's going to be destroyed at the end of the day. A man at counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even when himself has done without counsel. Right? So a man of counsel will be considerate. He's going to think about everybody else. Right? But a strange and proud man, he don't care about what's going to happen. Right? After he done something, he like, oh, well, I did it. Now what? Right? Not knowing that the Lord can jack you up even after that. Right? So don't be that strange, sinful, proud man that could be destroyed for your own thoughts, man. Be humble. Right? Seek the face of the Lord. Seek the lowly. Be meek. Right? And let's get an example of the meek. Right? Let's go to Sirach 45. This is a perfect example right here. Moses was a perfect example. And he brought him out, and he brought out of him a merciful man which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of God and men, whose memorial is blessed. right? So Moses is loved by everybody. Nobody can say a bad thing about Moses, right? I can't think of one person who can say a bad thing about Moses. He made him like to the glorious saints and magnified him so that his enemies stood in fear of him. By his words, he caused the wonders to cease, and he made him glorious in the sight of kings and gave him a commandment for his people and showed him part of his glory, right? So the Lord showed Moses so much things that we wouldn't even be able to attain, right? And Moses is, if you remember the transfiguration, you had Moses, you had Yahushua and Elijah, right? That's how important he is, right? Moses is up there, right? He sanctified him in his faithfulness and meekness and chose him out of all men, right? So he sanctified Moses in his faithfulness and his meekness, right? When Korah and all those men came to overthrow Moses, what did he do? He bowed down his face. That's a meek and humble thing to do, right? So take Moses as an example of meekness. He's the most meek man upon the earth. He was the most meek man upon the earth, right? Use Moses as an example to be meek, right? With that, I'm going to say shalom.